Stefanos Tsitsipas trains his footwork with a kind of intensity that strips movement down to truth. The work is fast, clean, and brutally precise, and the whole purpose is to shape how his body reacts in real match chaos. When he trains his feet, he is really training his decision-making, his balance, and the ability to strike from positions most players collapse in. The nature of his training is simple. He forces his body to change direction faster than it wants to stay lower than feels comfortable, and to maintain composure while the ground seems to shift beneath him. Everything is built around speed of initiation, how quickly he recognizes a movement cue and commits to it. That first half step is the difference between dictating the point or surviving it. His training sharpens this initial spark until it becomes instinct. Another central piece is balance under pressure. Tsitsipas puts himself in situations where his weight is constantly being pulled off center, and the goal is to regain posture before the stroke, not during it. In tennis, clean technique begins with clean positioning, and clean positioning starts from the feet. By challenging his balance repeatedly, he teaches his body to find stability even when arriving late or sliding into a difficult ball. This is why he can hit heavy, confident shots even while moving at uncomfortable speeds. His footwork training also deepens his ability to absorb and redirect force. Tennis is a sport of braking as much as accelerating. Players who cannot stop efficiently lose energy, lose timing, and in the long run, lose their body. Tsitsipas trains his deceleration so that every arrival is controlled, every recovery is immediate. That efficiency gives him more time, the most valuable currency in tennis, to prepare his racket, shape his swing, and choose his intention. There is also a perceptual component. He conditions his mind to stay alert, to read cues earlier, to anticipate patterns before they materialize. Footwork is not about fast legs, it is about a fast brain. When the mind recognizes the play a fraction sooner, the feet respond with precision instead of panic. This mental sharpness is why he often looks calm during point construction, even when stretched. What makes this type of training so valuable for his game is that Tsitsipas plays an aggressive brand of tennis. He relies on taking the ball early, on stepping forward instead of retreating, on managing the space between himself and the baseline. Without elite footwork fundamentals, not the flashy movements, but the disciplined micro steps that keep him balanced and aligned, his big forehand and all-court patterns collapse. The training protects his strengths by making sure he is stable enough to use them. It also makes him more resilient over long matches. Intentional footwork work creates an economy of movement. He wastes fewer steps, he recovers quicker, and he conserves energy that other players burn through carelessly. In a fifth set, those savings decide matches. And finally, there is the deeper benefit that separates professionals from artists: confidence. When a player trusts their movement, they trust their shot. Tsitsipas' intensity in footwork training gives him that trust. He knows that even if the ball pulls him wide, even if the rally speeds up, even if the court opens in strange angles, his body will find the floor, stabilize, and deliver a committed strike. Approaches core training with the same seriousness he brings to his movement and stroke production, because he understands something many players learn too late. The core is not an accessory, it is the engine. When he works his core, he is not chasing aesthetics or surface strength. He is shaping the stability, rotation, and control that hold his entire game together. The nature of his core work revolves around creating tension, maintaining posture, and transferring force without losing alignment. Tennis is a rotational sport, and Tsitsipas relies heavily on his ability to coil and uncoil with precision. His core training teaches his body to rotate as one unified system rather than twisting in broken segments. That unity is what gives his forehand its heavy, cracking sound, and what allows his one-handed backhand to stay firm even when he's stretched. Another crucial benefit he gains is stability under movement. Elite tennis forces the body into constant imbalance, sliding, running, recovering, improvising. A weak core collapses under that pressure, causing late preparation and inconsistent contact. Tsitsipas trains his core so he can hold his torso steady while his legs and arms move aggressively. When his chest stays quiet and his hips stay controlled, his racket path becomes cleaner and his timing sharper. His core work also protects him. With the amount of torque he produces through his spine, stability is non-negotiable. By reinforcing the muscles that connect his ribs, pelvis, and hips, he reduces the strain on his lower back and shoulders. This lets him train at higher intensity without breaking down. Most importantly, core training empowers his identity as an all-court, attacking player. It gives him the strength to take the ball early, the balance to finish points at the net, and the endurance to maintain quality deep into long rallies. When his core is sharp, his whole game becomes more fearless, more fluid, and more complete. For him, it's about building a specific kind of engine, one that can handle the continuous pressure, long exchanges, and unpredictable rhythm of elite tennis. When he steps onto the treadmill, he's not just running. He's conditioning the system that sustains his explosiveness and sharp decision-making over hours of competition. The nature of treadmill cardio for a player like Tsitsipas is controlled intensity. The treadmill becomes a laboratory where pace, incline, and duration can all be manipulated with precision. This gives him a clean environment to push his heart rate into the zones required for match-level endurance without the chaos of the court. It allows him to practice sustaining high output while keeping his breathing organized, a skill that translates directly onto the match court, especially deep into long sets. One of the biggest benefits he gains is the ability to recover quickly between explosive actions. Tennis is not a steady endurance sport. It's a constant cycle of sprint, stop, reset. Treadmill cardio helps him strengthen his aerobic base so his body clears fatigue faster, letting him maintain the same intensity from the first rally to the last. That steady internal engine is what keeps his legs alive when matches get physical. Cardio also sharpens his mental discipline. Running at a set pace forces him to stay present, maintain rhythm, and resist the urge to drop off when discomfort rises. That psychological conditioning mirrors the emotional control required in tight moments on court. And ultimately, this work strengthens the foundation of his movement. Strong cardio makes his footwork lighter, his recovery sharper, and his transitions more fluid. When Tsitsipas is well-conditioned, his aggressive style can breathe. He can attack, defend, and chase without hesitation. The treadmill is where that match-day stamina is built brick by brick.